Hello and welcome to Positioning for Profit, a program for the Ladypreneur that focuses on short-term revenue generation within your business structure. I am the Gold Mentor, Marcus Carter, and I will be your guide on this journey as I help you discover how to earn in your business in the short term while you figure out your long-term business focus. Deep down, I'm just a nosy man, so to speak, as I've made my business your business. Let me explain that. Professionally, I'm a nationally recognized speaker with designations from the National Speaker Association, as well as being the director of the Chicago chapter of the Public Speakers Association. I'm an officer and award-winning member of Toastmasters International. I have published 2 books and established myself as a thought leader in the field of goal actualization. I have over 7 years of upper-level sales management experience with a focus in e-commerce, management, and finance. In 2013, I became CEO of My Ambition, Your Ambition, or Maya, which operates on the premise that we all have a moral obligation to live a life of our own design. My primary focus in business is the plight of the female entrepreneur, the Ladypreneur, where I provide instruction and education on short-term revenue generation, which provides the Ladypreneurs the ability to earn while they build on their business. This module serves as a refresher and an introduction to the program. It will focus on the core competencies of ladypreneurship. It will define the different types of ladypreneurs. It will help to center your efforts by clarifying your core audience and also give a brief overview of the Positioning for Profit platform. Hopefully I'll shed some light on the key foundation points and principles of this opportunity. So let's get started. Now recently, while rehearsing for the Positioning for Profit platform, I came across a reading comprehensive passage that explained the study of 2 researchers called Robert Goffey and Richard Sayce. I had never heard of them before, and neither have you, I'm assuming, but one of their studies on female entrepreneurship caught my attention. There are a few ideas in their research that caught my attention. Why, you ask? It's not that their discoveries appeared surprising to me. One could have concluded what they found just by looking around in a little bit of detail, but still the concreteness and the way they presented their conclusions in such a structured manner, putting assumptions that I personally have always had into formal papers, is what made me really like their work. So let's get to the point. What is Goffey and Sayce's work all about? They concluded that women become entrepreneurs as a means to overcome not only unfair discriminatory selection criteria like age and previous experience, and of course gender, but also as a means to overcome subordination. Simply put, if I start my own business, nobody will judge my capacity to run it, and I'll be my own boss. Goffey and Sayce classify ladypreneurs into 4 main types. Now the first is called innovative entrepreneurs. These are the women that mainly started a business to challenge conventional assumptions about the position of women. They want to prove, through work or professional development, that it is more important than the role that the female plays. These ladypreneurs want to fulfill professional ambitions in their own companies that previous roles as employees did not allow them to. The second type of ladypreneur is called radical proprietors. These girls are active in economic and political ventures that strongly promote female issues. They don't care for making money. That's not to say that their businesses aren't profitable, but their motivation is to advocate for the long-term development of women's interests. The third category is called conventionals. These women, who are also not attached to traditional female roles, really just want to present themselves without the resentment that the innovative entrepreneurs didn't present. They have exercised secondary jobs in the past, and they might have changed jobs several times. Now to me, this is the category that I understood the least, because for me, the conventionals are innovative entrepreneurs without the resentment, which has less job stability, and that's what they had in the past. Lastly, the last type is called the domestics. These women, even if they're self-employed and entrepreneurs, see their businesses secondary. Firstly comes being a mother, firstly comes being a wife. Having their own company offers opportunities for self-fulfillment and autonomy, but is subordinated to their personal obligations. Now, as you can see, I'm a freak for these classifications, and that's maybe one of the reasons why I love Goffey and Sayce's conclusions. All the types are fascinating on their own, and I know real women in my close circle of influence that fall into each of the categories. I think I personally see more conventionals with some influence of radical proprietors. Domestics aren't bad either, because in the end, work-life balance is not only important, but it's sustainable. Which brings me to the question, which one do you feel like you are? Nextly, there's a huge difference between marketing to a business and marketing to a consumer. Believe that or don't believe it. Although you are still selling a product to a person, experience shows that the difference between these two types of markets runs very deep. Your business to consumer market purchase more on emotion. They are more interested in the benefit of the product. They want to hear more about how their product or your product or service helps them and what benefits it brings to them personally. Now, when you market to business, you will realize these businesses work hard to streamline the buying process in order to save the time and money. This often explains why a business-to-business purchase is based more on logic and why a consumer's purchase is based more on emotion. Let me see if I can explain this a little bit further. When you are marketing to a business-to-business, you want to focus on the logic of the product. You do this by focusing on the features of the product. This is little to no personal emotion involved in the purchasing decision at all. You want to focus on understanding the organization and how they operate within the confines of that organization's procedures. The business-to-business market has a thirst for knowledge, and they are information seekers. Your business-to-business market is more interested in the logic behind your product. They will want to hear more about the features and how it will help them save time, money, and or resources. Now, conversely, marketing to business to consumer, and when you're marketing and doing that, you want to focus on the benefits of the product. Their decision is more emotional. Consumers are different in that they demand a variety of distribution channels for convenience. Not so with the business-to-business market. Consumers are less likely to be interested in a lengthy marketing message. They want you to get right to the point. Consumers don't want to work to understand your benefits. Instead, they will want you to clearly point out the benefits to them. Your most effective strategies will focus on the results and benefits that your product or service can bring them. Let's put this in perspective. Let's say my product is lotion. My lotion will moisturize the skin and relieve itchy skin. If I have a business-to-business client, they will be most interested in the aspect of how it moisturizes the skin. Now, my business-to-consumer client will be most interested in how it relieves itchy skin. We will be most effective in marketing if we understand what both markets need in order to make a decision. So which one of these segments are you? Which one does your business focus on? Be careful to take your time to avoid making business harder for yourself. It is not a matter of who you can prosper dealing with. It is a matter of who your product solves a problem for. You might even deal with both on some levels and at different times within your business cycle. So always take your best shot to avoid being a small fish in a big pond. Focus your business on where you can have the most impact. The future. With the increase in the number of startups over the past 5 years, we've entered the age of democratic entrepreneurship. Just about anyone can afford to launch a business these days, and as well as get the information they need to have some success at it. Many of these new entrants today are mobile app businesses. In the future, it will be way more than that. In reality, most small businesses today aren't these sexy tech startups that we read about. They are the mom and pop stores in our local communities or ladypreneurs like you looking to create a multiple revenue streams. In the future, all of these businesses will be technology enabled, executing on the business model in some way, shape, form, or fashion. The brick and mortar small business we grew up with will become a business built on technology. Not dissimilar to how entrepreneurs are leveraging the social platforms today like Twitter and Facebook. Preparing your business for the future is very key. The world is changing, and the businesses who meet these changes head on with foresight are the ones that will survive and even thrive. So here are a few future factors of business. Firstly, the global middle class. It will grow exponentially. While this trend is already putting a strain on global resources from food to energy, it will also create major opportunity for the company that's able to penetrate these markets. Companies should actively develop strategies for tapping these vast and growing markets. That means you. Now, more than just a passing fad, sustainability. In this practice of your business, it's becoming a standard expectation, not just an exception like it used to be. Young people today are closely bound by their concerns for the environment. So look for ways to incorporate environmentally sustainable practices into all your businesses. Next, the future of business is the internet. We know that. Every place, everywhere, always on and always aware. Developments like cloud computing put powerful technology in the hands of companies of any size. Winners in the race for market share will be those who use technology to reach their customers through fully mobile platforms. And lastly, don't be fooled by the recent high unemployment rates. Companies over the next decade will have to fight for the smartest workers that are capable of keeping their companies competitive. So hire the most promising young workers right out of college or grad school and start training them in your systems right now. The near-term costs will pay off with talented, dedicated staff. The future holds exciting and interesting opportunities for ladypreneurs, especially when you take into account these technologies and how much growth will occur in those areas. Above and beyond that, ladypreneurship will be a lifestyle and a commonplace. Everyone will sell something. It will allow individuals the freedom of building a business where they work one day a week from their home that's in Lost Springs, Wyoming, selling a product that can be 3D printed or building the largest drone delivery network we've ever imagined. So, I will see you in the future. Now, if you've watched this, it's because it's another attempt to try and improve your business. You are either in the process of, at the outset of, or have already started your own business. You're watching this because even though this endeavor you're undertaking is noble and lucrative and empowering, it's also terrifying. You've no doubt figured out that life has more to offer than dead-end jobs and making other people rich. You are ambitious and motivated to have more control over your life. Your business is a way for you to embrace the fact that life is to be lived and not survived. You hold no false belief that anything should be given to you. You are more than willing to work for and all that you receive, and you have. You have bared the responsibility of your business like only you can. At times, and often alone or with little to no support, you have spent time, money, heart, hustle, and muscle. Your business is not a hobby for you. It's a passion. It's a purpose. You envision a day where your hard work pays off. But today is like many other days. You are so focused on success that your dedication to succeeding has actually worked against you. You may even have to protect yourself from becoming jaded. That feeling of stagnation, of not moving fast enough. You've worked your ass off, but how much further ahead are you than you were at this time last year? Honestly. For all the work you're prepared to do, how much further along will you be at this time next year? Can you afford to continue at this pace with no confirmation that positioning yourself for profit? Or to know if you're positioning yourself for profit? There are no guarantees in business. Or is there? Good question. Positioning for profit will combine individual, group, and one-on-one interaction formats for the ultimate experience. Positioning for profit specifically addresses the issue of how to manipulate the buying process between you and your client or customer. Positioning for profit will allow you to identify what specific problem you solve for your niche, how to isolate your niche, how to produce stimuli that encourages your client or customer to seek you out, how to position yourself as the go-to person within your niche, how to weed out shoppers and buyers, how to push long-term profit projections through the roof, showing you how to put money in your pocket right now. But I caution you, there are no secrets. Positioning for Profit is a 5-week program that will yield immediate and long-term results. But most importantly, you'll learn the steps that allow you to replicate that process on whatever scale you choose. So if your goal is seven figure, a millionaire to make money, or simply just to take a much needed vacation, positioning for profit solves that problem. The beauty and effectiveness of positioning for profit is it's predicated on straightforwardness. I speak English. You need a product or service that solves a problem for a customer or client. A customer or client will compensate you for your product or service's ability to solve their problem. Simple. Your sustained success then is based on a few factors. Number one, your ability to expertly convey the effectiveness of your product or service. How good is it? Your awareness of the problem areas of your customer clients, knowing what they need. Your ability to isolate, qualify, close prospective customers and clients to make the deal. Your ability to position yourself intimately within ever-expanding global markets. How to grow and expand your business and meet new customers. Good things to know, but profitable to put into motion. Even better is positioning for profit allows you to take on this challenge among your peers. This allows you to not only utilize my expertise, both my failures and successes, but also to use the expertise of fellow ladypreneurs. These relationships lend themselves to expanded reach within your market and provide a blueprint that will literally change your business and its reach literally overnight. Again, not to downplay the effectiveness of positioning for profit, but it comes down to customers and clients and how they dictate your business success. So learn how to put them to work for you. Learn how to earn while this process takes place. Learn among your peers to get going. And if you really want to do it, it's not a huge process. You just have to look in the mirror and just tell yourself that you're ready. And then begin to create your own life symphony within your own business. So let's get started, people. Welcome to Positioning for Profit.